Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. Today I want to do just a quick short version of this little introductory beginner version fingerstyle of Can't Help Falling in Love, because it's a good one for beginners. It's quite simple. It deals with most very familiar chord shapes, and the melodies are all very pretty much accessible, very easily accessible within those chord shapes. So what I want to just point out here is it's going to be most important if you're a beginner fingerstylist to, mostly it's going to be thumb and the fingers, and you want to really just focus on the bass note in the melody note of each chord to make sure those both elements are there. If the bass note's missing or the melody isn't quite cutting through, it just won't sound quite right. So be very aware. If you're a beginner, don't worry about playing any extra stuff until you get more familiar with the song, and then it's okay, or you're going to find it more comfortable to embellish some more notes and arpeggiate the chords a little more. But for starters, you just want to keep it simple and understand where your melody notes and bass notes are going to be. So, and I'm going to try to accompany you with some chord diagrams for this as well to accent those melody notes. So I'll just get into it now. So each of these chords are very basic, but I'll explain them as I go. So we're going to start, we're in the key of C, by the way. So we're going to start with C, and the first melody note is going to be right there on the B string, first fret, and you're going to want to play the low C with that. Okay? And then we're going to go to E minor. I like this shape because I can get this pinky up here. So that's just basically E minor, but again, if I use my index and second, I can free up my pinky here. Or you can, of course, use second and third and get the pinky in there. That's personal preference. But as you'll notice, if you're going from C, all you have to do to get that chord is to move this index. So that's why I choose that. Okay, so E minor with this high G note. Then we're going to A minor, and that's the same note as the C chord note. B string, first fret. And then all I'm going to do here is I'm going to add the pinky to the third fret and play that note, and then an open E string. And then we go to F. Now the high note for F is our melody, like that. Then we have the C, and I'm going to play an open E string for the C this time. And then G, I'm going to play the third fret of the B string. Okay, so let me play that section for you. Here we go. Okay, now finally we do an open G string first, and then go to an F chord, and the melody will be on the second fret of the G string. Then we play a G with an open B string, like that, and then our A minor again. And then this chord here, it's an F6. So what you play is an F, and I'm not going to bar this back for this F. I'm just going to play it like this with an added pinky. And then I play the third fret of the B string, open E string, and then fret down on the first fret of the E string. And then we have our C again, and G, and then root melody on the B string. So I'll go play that whole section now. So starting in C. Okay, so real simple. Keep it simple. Go as slow as you want. It's It's a waltz or triplet feel, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So feel free to get the metronome out and do it slow after you figure it out. You can never go wrong playing with a metronome. So that's the first section. Now we're going to go to the bridge. Now the bridge is, and there's only the verse and bridge in this song actually. So the bridge is going to be an E minor bar chord shape here. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to play the last 4 strings of that chord for this bridge. And I'm going to also play either the low E or the 7th fret E on the A string, but low E is the best option. And then we're going to go to a B7. Now, an easy version of this B7 is going to be just like what would normally look like an F chord, but if you're not familiar as a beginner, you may not do many of these, but it's the same as an F up here. It's a half bar chord. And then you want to put the pinky there on the 10th fret. So we go like with the E minor, and then, and what I can recommend you can try to do, but don't get hung up on trying to do this if it's awkward. But I notice I can easily get to this bass note of the B7. But if you can't do that, just focus on playing the half bar. So we have that. We do this 3 times. And then one quick high B note, and then we're going to do E minor 7. Now we go to A7. It's the same kind of 7 we did with the B. And I'm going to just arpeggiate this a bit. Do a high A note, and then the 7 note here. So I'll go do that again. I'll do it from, I'll just do the whole thing. Now this is the A. So I just arpeggiate 3 notes, but you can just play that. And then this is D minor 7. And then I do a little quick, just lift that 2nd finger up and put it back. And then the G is the high note melody here. So one more time, bridge. Okay, and that is pretty much the whole thing. Those are the parts. As far as format goes, it does 2 verses, then a bridge, then another verse, then another bridge, and kind of the outro. But there's a lot of versions of this song in the key of C on YouTube. So if you find a nice version you like, and a reminder, you can always get a nice version and slow it down on YouTube. You can slow the speed of the video down if you're just getting a hang of this and you want to go really slow. Okay, so that's all I wanted to explain. It's a good beginner version of a fingerstyle. Of course, mostly thumb and fingers is the obvious, and a lot of the time you will notice you'll have to pinch the thumb and the finger together. And that's really the essence of a beginner kind of style, is knowing how to do that pinch and not thumb like back and forth. A lot of players end up starting to do that a lot. But the pinch is at first might be awkward, but then it gets quite easy. Maybe not for everybody. For me, it was at first. I always wanted to alternate, and then pinch together became a little easier as I did it over the years. So that's the version of that for you. I hope you can enjoy that and get your head around it. And as you get more comfortable with playing it, you can always start adding in those arpeggiated notes. But just make sure your melody is always the loudest part of those notes. get a little more busy with the arpeggiating to create a little more of a musical feel, and maybe do those triplet feel on those notes. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Practice that as much as you can to get comfortable, and then have a listen to some version that you like, and go through it. It's a great beginner kind of thing to get used to doing. All right, enjoy.